Hello everybody, John here, and today onto the garage we're going to finally sort out why this washer pump, or the screen wash pump, is giving me grief and intermittent service. Well folks, you missed nothing so far except me getting the car jacked up and loosening the wheel nuts, which I'm sure you don't need to see me doing. Let's just get that out of the way. And the offending item is in here. And if I just put a screwdriver in this plastic riv nut, spin the centre out, give it a pull, and unhook this like that. There we go. And with that access panel removed, we can see the washer bottle, and a pump that works inside there is what's been giving me grief. Let's show you the issue. So we pop round to the driver's side. Despite having plenty of fluid in, if I turn the ignition on and then press the wash button on the end of the stalk and hold it, we get the wipe but none of the wash, and normally you'd be able to hear the pump running. Now I've had this issue for a little while. It's been intermittent, which is always the hardest problem to solve. A problem that's not there is very tricky to diagnose. But last time I looked at this, I went into this area, disconnected the motor connections, cleaned them up, and it started working again, I thought. But it was an intermittent problem, and it's back again. So I think it's the pump. So what I'm going to do today is get the wheel arch liner off and have a little better look at the situation and hopefully resolve it. The wheel arch liner is removed by taking this screw out, which is Torx on my car. There are some plastic clips to remove here, 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 and some barely worth having nuts screwed onto threaded spikes here and here, and the last one there. As soon as those are off, the whole liner can be manhandled out. It's just tucked on top of the return lip of the bodywork, so you've essentially just got to unhook it from there and the whole thing will collapse and come out this way.
So small, watch the clock ticking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me.
And here we are inside the wheel arch. Anybody wants detailed descriptions of what's inside here, check out the video that's secrets inside the wheel arch. I'll try and put a little link top right hand corner of the screen if anybody wants to follow it, but you know, you've got stuff like your purge canister, carbon canister for evaporative system in here. There's quite a lot of pipe work, brakes, evap system, ABS. You've got your damper and spring mount at the top there. The top pivot bolt for your wishbones, which can seize into place, so be aware of that. And up the front we have headlights and the filler neck, washer bottle, and in my case one pump. This base and this clip is to allow for multiple pumps, and that would be if you've got the front headlamp washer system. I don't have that, so I've got the more basic single pump setup.
Although I don't really need to do it for my task, I'm going to show you how to remove the filler neck from your bottle, and then if you do need to remove a bottle, it's a very small step beyond that.
So what we're going to do is open the bonnet and I'll show you how to detach this bit. So once you lift the bonnet, you have the filler neck for the washer reservoir, nice and easy to spot, bright blue, and if you just grab hold of that and you give it a rotation, whoops, towards the front of the car, it's about less than a quarter of a turn. I'm going to take my ABS motor cover off, just for your ease. Most cars won't have an ABS motor cover. Mine's just got one because it's very early. And as soon as you turn it forward, quarter turn, you can see there's the neck. It's got a couple of little lugs on it, but engage in this sort of bayonet fit on here. So you pull the neck off, but in doing so, you've made it possible to push that back through into the wheel arch. Okay, so back inside the wheel arch, here's the neck where we disconnected it inside the bonnet area, and if you just move that back far enough, it'll pop through. Just snagged on a pipe at the moment. There we go. And we're out. So that's nice and easy. And then the bottom part is just pushed into a big grommet on the side of the tank. So that's just a case of give it a good wriggle. Rotate a little bit maybe for ease. Let's turn him down. Like so. And you should be able to just wriggle that out by turning and pulling. There we go. And that's just got a bit of a barb around it, so once it pops into the grommet, it doesn't want to pop back out. There's our filler neck. Okay, so next we'll deal with the connectors. It looks like there's a lot going on here, but there's not really. There's this one wire connected to the pump. This would be connected to the second pump if I had one for headlamp washers, which I don't. This was tucked up behind here before I moved the filler neck. Should actually be clipped to a piece of bodywork up here. That is the connection that would be used if you had a North American car, because in North America these are illuminated as marker lamps. In the UK we don't have those, we don't have side running lights if you like, so what we have in its place is a dumb lamp. It's the same moulding as North America might have, but there isn't even a hole to put the bulb in. So it's just a reflector, and as you can see mine have been switched out for clear reflectors rather than amber reflectors, purely a styling choice. So that might be connected up there on yours, but to get them out of the way is easy. This connector goes straight into the pump, so it's very obvious. and I'll be able to show you how it works better when I've got it off, because there's no access for the camera. But if I get my fingers around this bit of pipe, I'll pull it off and show you. Little spring there, look. Push that in and pull up. There we go. Excuse the strobing, I've got an LED work lamp. That was a little springy thing I pushed in. As soon as that's pushed in, you can pull straight up off the motor, and away she comes. So we're disconnected. This pipe is connected to our washer jets on the windscreen. So if I disconnect that here, we might get quite a lot of liquid coming out at the moment because my water level is around there. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain down this bottle just so I don't make such a big mess. Pull that off there. Rubber pipes onto plastic nozzles. Things can be a bit delicate, so don't force it, just keep rotating it. And if you still struggle, which I am, rather than pull, push the pipe off, because pushing it expands the pipe, pulling it shrinks the pipe. So I'm just going on the edge there, and I've got another length of hose. I'm just going to use that to make a slightly less messy job of draining it down than I might otherwise make. That seems better. And I'll come back in 10 minutes and with considerably less water in there. So that's all drained down. Now at this stage, if you wanted to, you could remove the washer bottle. It's not that difficult. You just need to undo that bolt. Another bolt which is not too bad to put your fingers on, but hard to see. You see this triangular gusset here? It's just behind that gusset and it goes up. So you get a little socket with small extension on up there, 10mm. Probably using a wobbly extension with a 10mm again. You get onto this bolt, which I'm trying to point out without moving the camera. Another 10mm underneath towards the front. If you remove the under tray, it's very easy, but you're creating another task. So don't remove the bottle unless you want to or need to. For pump replacement, it's not necessary. This pipe here vents from what appears to be the top of the pump back into the bottle again. It's actually where the liquid level is detected, and so it needs air above it to balance up and not airlock. We need to remove this pipe in order to remove our pump. Most cars there won't even be a clip on here. The cable ties are actually my addition because the pipe is actually quite old. You see the cracks in it, and there was a good chance it was going to slip off. But I'll be replacing that bit of pipe, I think. So I'm just going to cut those cable ties and remove that pipe. Yeah, the end of the pipe's just torn off. It's so brittle. So definitely needs replacing. Then to remove our pump, all we're doing is pulling the pump out of a grommet, which goes straight down. So give it a wiggle and lift. So let's take a look. So it's a Jaguar LJA703 1AA. This one was born 9th of the 7th, 96. So, right at the beginning of production, it deserves not to have lasted any longer, really. If you shake it, we can hear the float, which is in here, and that's what detects the level in your washer bottle and puts low washer level warning on your dashboard. And in here we have 3 connectors. There'll be a common earth, a live for the motor, and a feed from the float. So we just need to establish which is which, and then we can try and get the motor to work.
Try not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars, I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. I want to drive a faster car.
Well, I've given this a good knock around, got all the fluid out of it, and I've connected a couple of wires to the pump terminals, which, as we've just discussed, is the bottom of the house shape, if you like, or in wiring colour code, yellow and green to black, yellow and green to black, and by putting it direct on a battery, and after a couple of stuttering starts and a bit of slow motion, it's kind of burst into life and is working reasonably reliably. So I think the brushes are on their way out in this, or it had something a bit stuck in it. Either way, I do have an operational pump, so I think I'm going to run it a few more times on a battery just to really clear it. Then I'm going to reinstall it and order myself a replacement. That way I can replace it next time that it fails. Going to plug that back in and go and operate it from the dashboard. Well, let's put this back together now. I'm very lucky I've got a length of silicone hose in stock, so I'm going to replace this short length with that. Should future-proof it from falling apart again in future. Cable tie doesn't want to go. There it is. Just crumbling, look, it's just age. There we go. A bit of silicone hose. I'm going to do. I'm going to fit it to this bit first. Like so. this. Go back in its little grommet down here. There we go. And then get that onto there. Very good. So we're all hooked up. What I'll do now is put my filler neck back in. So that goes into this hole, just here. Needs a bit of persuasion because it's now nice and clean, so it's gripping the grommet. There we go. Back up there. Put a hole in the bulkhead. There. I'm just going to put the filler neck on at the top. After holding that into position. We'll get the screen wash back in. Note there is a little filter here, little basket. Stop any rubbish getting in to your washer system. Nothing yet. It's quite a lot of system to fill. Rest the motor for a sec. So just to aid priming the motor, because I think that's the issue, what I'm going to do is just pull this off. It might be air up here and it's having trouble pushing liquid in. So let's let some liquid out of there. So it's running out of the motor outlet. So we know there's liquid all the way around the pump. Now reconnect. See if we get on any better. Yay! We're happening. That's great. Obviously we won't know that it's completely solved for some time because I've been having this intermittently. However, I am content that the motor is pumping, that the supply from the switch and the socket is good. So now if I get any issues, I will just assume that the brushes in there are giving intermittent contact, and when it gets to the wrong place, that's it, game over. And I shan't clean it up and knock it around and jump start it on a battery again. It will just be replaced. So as I say, I will get one in stock, but it gives me a little bit of time to find one at the right price. Right, that's really tight. I'm just going to put a cable tie on that top one. Not really needs it, it's just a vent, but it makes me happy. There we go. Tuck back behind this wiring. There we go. I think we're in good shape again. So other than putting this back together from a wheel arch liner point of view, another little mission accomplished. So that's today's tasks complete. Whew, good. So bit of computer work to find a new pump to do, but you know how to do that. When I do locate a good one, I'll let you know where I got it from, and if you need a pump you can do the same. But yeah, pretty straightforward job. If you're enjoying our channel, then don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you get notifications of new videos. And please give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, and you can share the videos. And below the video is always the area where you can comment and get involved with the chat.